Hello, Internet. Welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Curveballs. Another full panel for you today. We got everybody here: Lee, Pat, Jim. Thank you guys for getting up early and jumping on the pod. Thank you to our military. That's how we start every show. Everybody knows, but like we have an immense respect for our men and women in the military, and of course, first responders, police officers. Thank you guys for a very thankless job. Do anybody got anything to kick this off with?
Kind of like to go over a little bit, maybe what Sean Strickland, who we have all said that he's one of our boys here, that on Cocktails and Curveballs, and we've all talked about him, and it's pretty much general consensus with us anyway that we like Sean Strickland. He just came out this week and said something that I find really hard to believe about talking, the Navy SEALs coming and couldn't train with him.
Bullshit.
I man, I get it. These guys and they do train hard, and I know Sean Strickland trains hard, but there's such a difference, between military training and UFC training. Sorry, Sean, but these guys are training to save lives, to take lives. You're training for 15 to 25-minute fight. I don't
think Sean, if he got thrown into SEAL training, dude, you know what the attrition rate is for Navy SEALs? Do you know how few actually complete SEAL training?
Yeah.
And these guys are the baddest of the bad. I mean, Pat has some great stories about some Navy SEAls that, I get what he's saying. He does train hard. And maybe if you threw a SEAL into his training, it's different. It's not the same thing. But don't sit here and act like, you know what? They don't train as hard as me, because I'm telling you right now, go sit your ass in SEAL training, Sean, and let's see how you fare. Because I guarantee you ain't coming out of it. And that actually kind of irritates me, because we're so pro-military here, guys. And the fact that he would actually say that, I don't know what he was trying to get out of that comment. I don't know what he was hoping to get from it.
I think it just really shows how so many people, even people that we support, that we we love to watch fight. People like this. I mean, he a lot of the things he stands for, we agree with, but it really opens my eyes to how some people are just oblivious. They're clueless to what they're even talking about. I like Sean, and just like Jim said, I'm sure Sean's daily regimen of training is absolutely bananas. Dude's in phenomenal shape. For 4 or 5 rounds, goes out there and doesn't stop punching. For people that have ever boxed or done anything, you know what kind of physical condition you got to be in to just go in and just for 5 straight rounds do nothing but just nonstop punch. And that's what he does. So he's in fabulous shape. That being said, Jim's also right. So there was a Navy SEAL that kind of responded to Strickland's rant about that and said, listen, nobody's disputing. Maybe none of us can hang with you in your training regimen. But here's the difference, Sean. If our training doesn't go well, then we're watching our brothers and sisters die. If your training doesn't go well, you twist an ankle, maybe you don't compete in the next event. Huge difference, man. It just, and if his intent was to talk about how, because Navy SEALs are widely, judged as, the baddest people to walk the planet, or definitely, one of those groups. Maybe he was trying to put himself in that light that they couldn't hang with me. Well, I would argue,
right? Like you would like to think that's the point he's trying to make.
I would hope so. I was actually really good friends with a Navy SEAL when I was in the Navy. Went down to Virginia Beach. Actually had the misfortune of watching him go to action on 4 big dudes, and it was over unbelievably quick.
I remember you telling me that story. That's why I brought that up, because these guys are. Maybe that's what Sean's doing, is comparing badasses to badasses.
That's what it's got to be. That's what it's got to be, because Listen, Sean, you're an entertainer and you're a badass. There's no doubt in my mind that you could walk into a bar and damn near clean it out. I'm sure of that. But all that being said, man, you compete. It's a sport. What these guys do is this is defending our country, man. This is life or death, man. So I don't want to believe that he was actually putting himself on that level. I think he was just trying to make an argument that we're just as bad as you, which, whatever. But I think it was a real bad look for him to put himself in the same breath as a Navy SEAL. So,
That's where I
really
was
quick,
going with that.
really quick. I'm drinking.
I was gonna say, what are you putting Fireball into today?
Well, not Fireball. I got a special treat for all our listeners in the panel here. So I've got a little bit of Modelo Chelada Mango Chili, and I just happen to have a fifth of Hornitos Lime Shot.
Oh God.
And just in case people want to, make sure that, look, it's sitting right here. I just poured it into a shot glass, which happens to be right here. And I'm going to dump this in my beer. And now breakfast has been served. So,
What the
cheers.
fuck is wrong with you?
He's got listen,
This
he
fucking guy.
has walked away from those meetings he's supposed to go to a long time ago.
I mean, that is a long list, Ty. I mean, do you want just like the top 10 or do you want that? That's a long list. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think no, that was like rhetorical.
It's
Exactly.
really good though. It's exceptional if anybody's wondering. It's that lime just really, it's like boom, let's kick
So
it up a
how
notch.
much time before it hits your nap time after a few of those?
Well, as soon as this session's over, I may stretch out. I may or may not. We'll just have to see how that goes.
I don't blame you. Hey, but if we're going to talk about that, so this actually, I went back to one of my favorite beers, and this is, if you can see it, it's Prickly Pear Pale Ale, Lewis and
nice.
Clark out of Helena. It's actually one of my favorite go-tos. Super good. I actually have to drive to Helena today. Don't know if I'm gonna have time for a brewery, but yeah, super good. I actually thought you were gonna put fucking Fireball into something else today, because that's kind of been your go-to recently. Taking a little Fireball shot bottle and pouring it into something. So Hornitos
Yes,
changing
sir.
it up. I can
Yeah,
appreciate
you're
that.
kind of
Yeah,
you're kind
lime
of taking
Hornitos.
us you're kind of taking us on a trip around the world with your your drink selections.
That actually
Like-
sounds kind of
It's
good.
like, are we going to Germany this episode?
It could
Are we
be.
going
mean,
to,
maybe.
are we going to Mexico this episode?
I think so. I think now we're maybe sitting on the beach at Cabo and
Oh yeah,
enjoying-
full blown south
Yeah.
of the border.
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I haven't tried this earlier because it's pretty fucking good. So,
Speaking of
Mexican,
South,
a Mexican car bomb, is that what you call it?
well, it's I mean I think
A
that's
cartel car
I think
bomb?
that's I think
A
that's
cartel
towing the
car
line
bomb.
of-
Okay, that copyright that
I-
right there, Tyler.
It's like towing the line of a possible Mexican slur, but that's what I would call it. Sure.
So,
Okay, I think you need to copyright that cartel car bomb. That could be a new drink.
Yeah,
Cartel
that could be your
car
drink.
bomb,
that
there you
across
go.
the country.
Try and order
Yes,
that at the
sir.
bar.
I'm going to
Anybody.
actually. And now that I've tasted this, I am absolutely going to order this next time. I
Yeah,
go to
but
the
you
bar.
have to call it a cartel car bomb and see if they know
Oh
what
my
the
gosh.
fuck you're talking about, and then you can explain it to them. But
Yeah.
it doesn't
Oh,
have to
and-
be the mango chili beer. Or is that
But
like,
here's the scary thing though. If they're like, okay, if they walk away from me after I order a cartel car bomb, I'm gonna be sitting there wondering what the fuck did I just order?
and they come
Yeah,
back
how do-
some with some
how do they know?
fentanyl, some horse
And
semen.
depending
Jesus Christ.
where you're at in the country when you do that, I'd be looking for somebody to pull up in a friggin' car and take you off.
Yeah, I think that's true. Accurate.
All right,
Hey.
but let's try it in our neck of the woods first and see how it goes.
Yeah, probably
Okay,
a
that's-
better idea.
Yeah, no
and-
shit.
Yeah.
Unless
And-
we all travel to Mexico and do a podcast from Mexico, I'm down with that, boys. If
Oh,
you all
that'd be
got your
good. Yeah.
passports,
Yeah.
Tyler's like
Boy,
Mexico.
Are we all able to do that?
Fuck no.
You,
I got too much fuck going on. I'm fucking barely get here.
yeah. Speaking of South,
yeah, but I think
anybody
you're-
watch the
I think
fights
you're
last
good.
night?
and
Oh,
oh
yeah. Did you
shit,
see
I
the
watched
brawl?
it. I watched
Did
the
you see
prelims.
Did you see the brawl in the stands?
I missed
I
that.
saw a
I
video
didn't
of
see
it.
it.
I saw a video of it, and this dude knocked two different guys out with a left hand. These are just random people. They're like this brawl
Holy
just
shit.
breaks out in the stand. Speaking of cartel car bomb, and this dude with two lefts, pow, one guy goes down. Some other guy fucking spins around, boom, another left, both of them down. And you should see
Holy crap.
the people behind him going fucking crazy like this dude just won the belt.
Oh my
Everybody's
need to
like,
watch
yeah, crazy.
God.
Makes you wonder what started that throwdown.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
talking
just that's
shit
how
or
I get my
something?
I get my information in minute long clips. So I don't know. I didn't dig into that.
I normally do too.
Good to
That's
see
the way to
Brian
go.
Ortega back.
T City.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Glad to see him back. He looked good last night.
Good.
I just watched some of the prelims, and prelims I wasn't overly impressed with, so I just kind of tuned out and left it at that. But
It
I
was
was
the
the
main
main card was
decent.
a
It
decent.
was a pretty decent fight night card.
Yeah, not
It
bad.
was okay. Oh, who was the one? The French guy, Ziam, or I thought he lost that fight bigger than shit against Poyas. He got taken down, driven down, and he still won. And even after the fight, he was like shaking his head, like he couldn't believe that he
Hmm.
got the decision.
Was that
yeah,
in
that was in the
Mexico City?
prelims.
That was
Yeah.
in Mexico City. Yeah,
Yeah,
Super high elevation in Mexico City, right?
7,000 plus.
So that'd
what
be
is
good.
it? What is it? Like in Denver, it's close to that, isn't it?
It's all close
Denver's
to 10.
mile high. No,
So it's
Denver's
5,000.
Oh,
It's higher.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking Winter Park. Winter
It's-
Park is like 99.
It's
Yeah.
higher here than it is in Denver. In
Okay,
Colorado.
that's it. Oh, yeah, that's it. So, because like the USA Wrestling, like the Olympics, those people like train right there, right?
Their Olympic
How
training
how
center
high is it
here.
right there?
About almost 7,000.
Yeah.
So when I was
Wow.
working in Winter Park, several years
Where's
ago,
Winter Park at?
it's
I don't know
you
things.
just- yeah. You
What
just
state is it in?
It's in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Pop
That's
quiz.
yeah.
So
Sorry.
okay. So
how
I'm
old
sorry.
were you when this happened?
I was in the
What's your
apprenticeship
dog's
program.
name?
I was in the apprenticeship program. And so from Denver, you just head up into the mountains. It's 99, it's like 99.78. It's like, and we're actually running underground cable for a driving range golf course up there. And when they finally got it finished, we went up there, and anybody who knows me, I'm not a golfer. And I think I've hit the driving range like probably less than 20 times. So I'm not, a ball striker, none of that. But me, a guy that just is not a golfer, would get on the driving range and you hit that ball and just get it in the air. I could drive it almost 300 yards, 400. I mean, just you get the ball, and then guys I was with, see their ball disappear. I mean, you're driving the
Yeah.
ball, 10,000 or 10, 9,900 feet above sea level. Good Lord, you can drive a golf ball, man.
So
It's
why
pretty
do you
impressive.
think? Why do you think the Rockies aren't just like, we're gonna get anybody that lifts the ball? Period. That's it. That's our whole model. We're gonna have 9 guys that try and lift it, because every home game, at least,
Well, you
that'll-
still got to right. Well, you still got to pitch the ball and see. And they did a survey. They did some research, and the ball at Coors Field, I think Jim knows this. The ball at Coors Field flies 7% further than any other ballpark in the country. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but balls that you're routinely catching at the warning track are in the second row.
Yep.
Mhm.
And actually,
how many
Coors Field,
balls- how many
is an
balls are
awesome
caught?
stadium.
It's a beautiful stadium. How many balls are caught every game? I bet you 3-4 balls every game are caught at the warning track.
Yeah.
So now those balls are home runs. Those are uncatchable. So it is a big difference, man. I mean, it's
Well,
hard
see,
to get
when
a
the
pitcher there that
Rockies-
can.
That's exactly what Patrick said, and that's that you got to pitch the ball. I mean, you get decent pitchers here, and their ERA goes up a full point.
Oh man, or 2.
Yeah,
Because a bloop is now hitting the fucking wall. A bloop
Well,
single's
and you-
hitting the wall. You're like, whoa,
and-
shit.
And curves, if you're a big time curve, if you throw a mean curveball, it doesn't break in Coors Field. Daryl Kyle, rest in peace. His ERA was routinely up around 5. St. Louis trades for him, and that guy was our ace the day he walked in the door. That curveball, he finally had bite back. He was making guys look dumb with his curveball. That curveball could not. It looked like a changeup. I mean, it did nothing in Coors Field. I mean, that's real, man. So
I've been to Coors Field. It's been a few years back, but Coors Field
it's a beautiful
is awesome.
ballpark.
It's a beautiful ballpark, man.
It really is.
And I haven't
Yeah.
been to as many major league parks as you guys, but I'm telling you, that was one of the ones I was like, holy shit. I think I saw the Rockies
haven't
play
been
the
to that
Phillies
many.
that day.
So does anybody
I've-
know? And,
I've been to
and
like a
anybody listening to
couple.
us, anybody
That's
listening
all
to
I've
us,
been to.
fact check us. But you know how every ballpark, like New York Yankees, they designed a really short right front porch for left-handed lineup, right? You got Boston Red Sox, where it would be a home run at most stadiums, but you got the Green Monster, so it's a line drive to the monster. What I'm wondering is, and I've thought this for several years, why can't Colorado make it 440 to Power Alley? Why can't they make it 450 to dead center? Why?
I think you try to use it to your advantage, though, right? Like, unless you're going to have an elite pitching staff, wouldn't you just try to like hit more home runs than the other team?
Right. And what
I
puts
mean-
more asses in the seats? Runs and
Home
home
runs,
runs.
right.
And I mean, come
But
on,
I-
man. I
I
mean,
just-
the casual fan, if balls are flying out over the fence left and right, it makes it a lot more exciting for a casual fan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go check out a game. Oh my God, that was so exciting.
But at this
But I
point in time, that franchise can't win games, man. You can't
Yeah,
tell
I
me
know.
some
And
of
you
that
know
ain't
what?
because of the.
I went to a game one time in Seattle, and I believe they were playing the Padres, and there was so many runs scored. It was such a high scoring game, dude. The game took so fucking long. And at
Wow.
that time I was there for like a work thing, so I still had it was like a weekday game.
Oh,
Middle
shit.
of the, like I still had to drive back home after like hours back home after the game. And so I was
Jesus,
like,
that
cool,
sucks.
this game starts at early, it's a nooner or whatever. Dude, the
Probably.
game had to have taken 5 fucking hours.
Oh my
Like,
Is this the
there
game
was-
where they shut the beer gardens down way too early?
They
Of course,
didn't
if you
shut
had
it
to
down
drive
in the- they
home,
shut it down
you
in
were
the
being
box I was
responsible.
in, but yeah, dude, like that's the other thing is games take long enough, right? They're trying to shorten the games and shorten the games. When teams score a lot of runs, those games take for fucking ever.
Fact.
So
Yeah,
did
that's
I see
fact.
that right? That the next year, not this coming season, I think it was next year, maybe it's the one after that, maybe it was 2026. They plan to have that robo ump behind home plate.
They're trying that in the minors, aren't they? AAA?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been trying it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So, man,
They
I'm
said
torn
it's
on
full
that.
go. They're gonna do it.
Yeah,
I didn't see that.
it's a green light.
Oh.
It got approved. Yeah.
wow. Hey, there's so many people that are purists. And now granted, it's the older generation, I'm sure, but that's gonna be a tough pill to swallow.
Well,
But then
I've got-
again,
I've
we
got real
bitch
mixed-
about the officiating. So
Yeah.
I've got real mixed feelings about that. I mean,
Mhm.
I do
don't
too.
know.
I do too.
I don't know why why it's come to this. I mean, there was a time where we just trusted umpires, right?
Well,
Before
I
the
would-
K zone, right? Like
Hey,
that
listen.
that's what's fucked these guys so hard.
You know what? I just want them to be fucking better, man. I mean,
right.
and that's not.
but they're
that's,
not.
That's not even asking a lot. I'm not asking. Like, listen, I'm not asking for them to get every call, or I'm not even, 90% of the calls. What does it for me? And I feel like I speak for millions and millions of baseball enthusiasts. What does it for me is a ball right down the fucking pipe, and the ump just stands there. Ball 4. What? Like the most egregious calls, like the check swing that didn't even come close to breaking the plane. Didn't even come close. And Angel Hernandez rings him up. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. It's
But
like,
see, you
it's-
dropped you dropped I'm not expecting even 90%. Oh, I am. These umps, they're getting paid enough damn money. If you make it to the major leagues, you should be better than 90% on your calls,
Well,
man.
you
but
know
you're
what?
looking at-
Just,
Get the fuck
just
out
to
of
play
there.
devil's advocate, I don't disagree with what you guys are saying, but I bet they're fucking trying. Just because you know what I
Joe
don't think they're
West. I
trying
don't
to be
think Joe-
shitty.
Right. I don't
But
think
there
Joe
are
West is
some of those
trying. I don't
guys
think
that,
Angel
like-
Hernandez is trying. I think
But if you're trying to get the best, however many fucking umpires are how many pro umpires are there? 16
That's a good
games,
question.
like
Gotta be.
15 games. If everybody played that night and you got 5 umps,
But then you got yeah. I bet you
whatever
it's gotta
that
be
number is.
60, probably
or
60,
whatever that
70.
number is. Yeah.
Well, and they have a
um,
large pool that they'll bring up from AAA.
I'm
but,
just,
like, if they
I'm just
run-
saying
yeah.
though, like those are the best guys at that in the world. I'm not saying that there aren't people in the world that could do better, but they don't. Like the whole just officiating anything. Like
It's
you
me-
could go to any fucking city in the goddamn world and they need from the time they're little kids to the time that they get to go hopefully play in college or whatever. Like there's such a shortage of officiating.
It's
No
fair.
shit, because
I'm
there's
right,
and
yeah, and-
but like we're sitting here going, yeah, they fucking suck. That
Well,
guy
these
fucking
motherfuckers
sucks.
are
And, man, you
walking
could
out
go
of
to
the
a
stadium
T-ball,
and
dude. You
getting
could
their
go to a
ass beat.
fucking. You could go to a little league game and be like, that guy was fucking bad. Oh well, why
Right.
don't you do it? Because he got paid $10 to do it.
Yeah.
I'd
And
rather
the
knock the whole
officiating, right.
stadium going, that guy fucking sucks for
but
$10.
Listen though, the balls and strikes, over the last couple of years have gotten almost comically bad. I mean, they've gotten
It's
just
laughable.
horrible, man.
But
And-
Tyler's dead. Tyler's right though. I mean, think about before we had the K zone. Every player has the fucking K zone now where they just used to show it if the pitch was close. Then they would bring the K zone up there and show you exactly where it was. Right now, it's just permanent up there on the screen.
Yeah, you
That
see it
K zone.
every single
And then
pitch.
now, right, and now they've got that 3D model thing where they show you the it barely
Yeah.
got a stitch on the fucking corner or something.
Right,
That should have
right.
been
Yeah.
a strike. All right, dude,
I-
you're doing this in real time. And
But I can live with borderline calls. It's not that. It's. I mean, and I think. I mean, there's just countless
It's the egregious.
examples.
There
of,
are.
The
Oh,
egregious.
just.
And I think
balls
we're
that
all
are-
on the same page. Like we
Yeah,
all
balls are
see
6
pitches
inches
that
off
you're
the
like,
plate.
holy
Yeah.
shit, that
Yeah,
was
6
bad.
inches off the plate and
Yeah.
rings them up. It's like, come on, man. And
It's
you know,
funny that you bring that up, dude. I just saw a highlight of it said that the guys that were the 2 worst last year at calling pitches that were more than 2.5 inches out of the strike zone, they were both World Series umpires. One of them was behind the dish game 7, and you should have seen their it's not a highlight reel, it's like a low light reel. And it's like a minute long, dude, of these guys missing pitches that are a foot off the plate, and you're like,
Yeah.
holy shit! Like, how did
Yeah,
that
like,
happen?
well, how did he get that gig? Like, how is he?
They were
calling
in the
that
World
fucking
Series.
game?
How do those guys go to the World Series?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But and so Jim, I agree with you, man. I'm torn because I like the human element and I'm okay with umpires making mistakes, but that shows you how egregious it has gotten that even baseball purists, people that believe in the game, the purity of the game, even those people are saying, fuck this. We need robot umps, man. I mean, the
Yeah.
calls are just, it's like, okay, well, I don't want robot umps, but I also don't want my guy getting called out on a pitch that's 3 foot outside the strike zone. Bases are loaded. They're down by 1 run. I mean, there's example after example after example of umpires ending the game on a horrible fucking call, man.
Sure.
They should not be deciding the game. So
Are we excited
yeah,
for spring training? Do you guys get excited for like pitchers and catchers report? There's already games are already
Right,
getting played.
right. I get excited for the
what
prospects.
do you guys like it?
I do. I like that. And I've never actually been to a spring training game, but everybody I talked to said that, man, you want a good time. Spring training games are just a ton of fun. I like it for the prospects. You know, people that love to say, "Oh, did you see what he's doing in spring training?" Pump your brakes, man. He's
Yeah.
hitting against guys that will never be in the major leagues once the season starts. So hopefully you're not one of these guys that buys into what a guy's doing. If anything, if he's hitting well or pitching well, then he's setting himself up to do well in the season. But to actually buy into some of the stats that
The season's
Yankees scored.
just so long, right? Like the season's so long.
It
It
is.
doesn't.
Right.
You could be hot in spring
Injuries.
training and be hot the first month, 2 months, 3 months, but it's
Listen,
such a
I'm-
long
I'm-
season. Like you're gonna slump.
Sure,
I'm the
of
guy
course.
that, because I know that it's almost pointless, grapefruit league, spring training games. I get it, but I am a fan of it. I mean, it's on my bucket list to get to Port St. Lucie to watch some games
Absolutely.
for the Mets. And you know what? Maybe you get a Pete Alonso come out for one game, have 2 at bats, but maybe he crushes one off some guy that shouldn't even be in
Sure.
Double-A, 800 feet. It's kind of cool. I think the reason I like it is because I know baseball's coming. And
That's
it's the
right.
start of it.
Yeah.
And you get the prospects, the new guys, man. And
Right,
you get to
right.
start to see who should I be paying attention to going forward.
That's
Now,
why I
granted,
like
it's
it.
not
Yep.
the test barrier is not super high in spring training, but it does. If you're a baseball fan, man, it gives you that purest attitude, like, oh my God, here we go, baseball's coming, it's on,
Yeah.
and that's where we're
What do
at
you
right
think,
now. So I'm
Jim? Are you
excited
spring?
for
Are
it.
you a spring training guy?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And for all the reasons that have just been spoken about, I mean, the prospects, I love seeing the guys, and especially obviously, with my team, I like to see the young guys where they're at, how far along they come, because also pay attention to the draft. And I know
Sure.
the high draft picks and stuff. Yeah, no, and I think for me it's mostly because, oh shit, baseball season's coming,
Yeah.
warm
Oh, yeah.
weather,
Boom.
warmer weather's coming.
So the warmer weather thing, that's my knock on watching spring training games, is that the states that we all live in, like this time of year, it's still shitty outside.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Really
And
shitty.
I'm watching these guys. It's 70 fucking degrees. They're out there
I
playing,
know.
getting to play baseball, and you're like,
Arizona, Florida.
okay,
Yep.
well, yeah, you
Yep.
cocksuckers.
Yeah.
I would
Oh, yeah,
say that's
really
the only
proud.
knock. That's my big bitch. Is it's
But
it's
we
almost too
also-
nice.
Tyler, we also choose to live where we live. So I mean, you can't really
Yeah.
throw that at it. Like my son right now lives in Scottsdale and he's golfing all the time. And I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
snow
We
on the
all
ground,
make
bro.
we all have to live with the choices that we make.
It's
That's
a
true.
fact.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Fuck.
But
It's like Pat
No,
chose
this-
to drop Hornitos in a beer. I mean, he has to live with
Oh,
that choice.
it's. I'm really trying not to chug it, man, because it's that good. I ain't even.
the
lying. It's
the thing
pretty
about
amazing.
the thing about this year's spring training, though, is that there wasn't a lot of movement in free agency. It seems like a lot of these
Right.
clubs, besides the Dodgers, kept their
I
wallet
know.
closed.
Do you see what Bellinger just went for? Who agrees
Yeah,
with that?
but-
Who thinks Bellinger's
Oh, yeah.
worth 3 years, 80 million? Are you shitting me?
Dude, that's
Dude,
nothing. No,
Tell
He's
your
got
kids to
player
play
options.
baseball. Tell
Yeah,
your
dude.
kids to play baseball. Like those guys. You guys know James Paxton. He's big lefty for Seattle. Canadian dude. He was really good. He's been hurt for like the last fucking 4 seasons.
By the way, he's a Dodger. Cool.
Yeah, 1 year, 11 million.
Yep.
Just you're
Jesus
like, dude, this
Christ.
guy's pitched like a fucking handful of major league
Full of
innings in
games
the
in
last
4
like
years.
dude in like 3 or
Yeah.
4 years. It's been
Yeah,
since he
yeah.
was like somebody
Salaries are
that
just-
was on the
and-
mound every 5th day.
I don't understand. I really, and we talked about this. I'm not going to beat this in the ground. I just want to make a comment. I don't understand why baseball allowed Ohtani to waive 98% of his contract, because all that does is enable them to sign even more guys. I feel like in that situation, Major League Baseball should have said, "Oh no. No. We ain't going down like that. This is counting against your salary cap. You want to sign this guy for that much? That's cool, but you're not waiving his salary till the end of his contract." I mean, I don't know why I just don't agree with it. I think it's horrible.
The league wants a World Series title in LA. And there's a
Well,
lot of
clearly.
money that goes. There's a
Freaking clearly,
lot of
man.
money that comes behind that, dude.
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
the Japanese
Dodgers start
pitcher?
winning.
Who's that dude that they signed? Yamamoto?
What's a
Yamamoto.
Yamamoto?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I talked about this last week, but I saw him throwing live batting practice, and you're
He's
watching
insane.
it right over the catcher, like you're the umpire. Holy fuck, dude! He threw 2 fastballs and 2 curve balls, and you were like, whoa, like I was watching my phone and I was like, holy shit,
What
did
the-
I thought it was gonna hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you
And
said,
then get
dude, like,
Ohtani
that's-
healthy and let him pitch again too. I mean, once
Well,
he
yeah,
opts
he's
to
just
pitch
gonna-
again,
he
it
just-
won't be this year.
yeah, he's just going to go and swing
No.
the stick. You know, the sad thing is Dodgers can pull 3 guys off their bench. They could probably that any other team would put in their lineup. I mean, they just let
Hernandez is
they-
just
they
gonna
just
just
let-
be chilling on like
yeah.
hanging out. He's not gonna play that much.
Well, Justin Turner, they just let Justin Turner go. They could have traded him. They just we don't need your services.
yeah.
He just went to Boston. Watch him hit 282, 31 bombs next year.
No, he's
I
not
mean-
Boston. He's walking.
I thought he
away.
went to Boston.
He did, but
He
now he
did,
walked
but
away.
yeah.
I think he only. Yeah, I don't know. He's not in Boston anymore. They let him
I don't
go.
think
Oh.
he's with anybody. I don't think he's with anybody right now.
I think so.
I mean, Dodgers are just fucking stacked, man. And
This
I'm telling you,
offseason has been weird with like movement. Like I feel like there
Yeah.
wasn't that much like splash to this.
Well,
offseason.
right?
Jordan
But there's
Montgomery-
even Scott Boras came out, an mega agent, and said
yeah.
The
things aren't
agent.
moving. Yeah, the agent is saying
I saw
things
something that
just
said
aren't
he's the
moving.
biggest loser of Major League Baseball, like the offseason. Because
For
normally
contracts? Yeah, I saw that too.
dude, I would like to see how much he's worth.
I bet he's close to
Oh.
$1 billion. He's got to be close
Dude,
to $1 billion.
good
he's
Lord.
got every big contract is a Scott
Yeah.
Boras contract.
Yep.
Yeah, and so Jordan Montgomery, who's a fabulous pitcher still out there. Who's that Cy Young winner from last year?
Blake Snell's still out there?
Blake Snell's still out there. I mean, I don't normally these
JD
guys.
Martinez is still floating around out there. Should he go?
He's kind of
if you're not getting that many bites, right? Like, because at this point, obviously nobody's met the contract that you want.
Correct.
Why would you, if you're JD Martinez, go to Coors Field? Like, how you talk about a fucking match made in heaven?
He's
Well,
such a professional hitter. He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
such a
Dude,
great.
he spanks the
professional
ball. He's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
but don't you think part of him also wants to be with? He's not okay. So if he does that, he's going to be Mike Trout in Anaheim. He's not going to sniff the playoffs.
No, you don't go, but you go there to hit a bunch of home runs. You sign a 1-year deal.
Well,
and
but
if
don't
JD
you think?
Martinez hits 35 or 40 bombs,
But don't you think JD Martinez is cut from the stone that I want postseason baseball? I mean, I think he kind of is. I don't know.
I think he is too. And you know what? I think most players are. I think most players are. I really do. I think this is a competitive nature. You've done this so long, so many. I think it's just in your nature that, and if you're not, then who are you? Why are you in Major
Right.
League Baseball if you're not
Right.
there to be in the postseason to win a World Series? Who the fuck are you?
Absolutely. That's why I feel so
But
bad
there
for Mike
are-
Trout.
but-
We won't-
there
But-
are guys that are just chasing dollars.
Sure.
You see in the
Well,
NFL,
there's-
you see in the NFL
yeah.
every offseason, you see guys go sign with shitty teams and
With
make
big
crazy
contracts,
money.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
huge
you're like, that's
contracts.
why that
Yeah.
team sucks, is because you're a B-level
Yeah.
player getting played. Dude, that just reset the market.
Right.
Getting payday money.
I
Yeah.
got one.
No,
Okay,
it-
I got something for you guys. You guys know who Eric Bieniemy is, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Did you see that he just signed to be UCLA's assistant?
Oh
head
yeah, I
coach?
did see that. Yep.
Assistant.
Did not
head
even
coach.
not even the fucking head coach.
No, he's
So
the offensive coordinator.
what
assistant
happened?
head coach.
What happened on the trajectory of where Eric Bieniemy was supposed to be
A head coach.
2
yeah.
years ago? Right? Like he was
Right.
he was the hot next new thing of being like,
So when I
somebody's
saw
gonna
that,
sign this guy
Ty,
to be a head coach.
so when I saw that, Ty, I don't know if you guys thought the same thing. What I thought, because I thought the same thing. Like, man, like you're not even taking a college program. You're like, you're the man standing next to the man standing next to, like, you know. So my way of thinking was, I wonder, and nobody's ever going to report this. This is completely under the radar. But I wonder behind the scenes if they said, okay, when coach is done, it's your team. Do you think something like that maybe?
At UCLA, are you talking about at UCLA?
Yeah.
I think even that, I think Eric Bieniemy, even if he would have went there to UCLA to be the head coach,
right.
is still fucking like,
Oh, it's still a step
why?
back, right?
That's
Dude, he
maybe
was the
He was
He was
supposed
the
to be
hot
the
name
next
for the
guy.
NFL. He
Yeah,
was
that's what
gonna
I'm
be
saying.
like,
But maybe he feels jaded I mean, he's been stepped over a lot.
maybe it's double middle fingers to the NFL. Like,
Yeah,
fuck you guys.
that's
You
what
gonna
I'm
step
thinking,
over
like,
me?
you know
I
what?
mean, it could be.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Something I think he got lost in the horse shit that is the Washington Commanders. I think he
Oh,
just
yeah.
went there after leaving KC, thinking maybe Ron Rivera in his last year or whatever, and he'd get that team. I think he just got lost. He's not with Andy Reid,
Right.
which was
Correct.
a big part of Patrick Mahomes,
Oh,
big
sure.
part
Yep.
of why he was such a huge name and a prospect to be a head coach in the NFL. Man, I don't know. It's real interesting to me that he doesn't get a head coaching job. Then he goes to the Commanders to be their OC.
It's a
Right.
lateral move. It's a worse move. It's not even
Right,
a
right.
It's
Worst
not
move.
because
even
he
a
left
lateral.
Kansas City to
Yeah.
to take the same position.
With
At
a
He
whole-
had to
way
have
worse,
he had
at
to
a
have,
way worse team. Like I what?
Oh,
if
yeah,
he
but he
wasn't
had
gonna
to
take a
have
head,
believed
if he wasn't going to
what
take a
Jimmy
head coaching
said.
job, leaving Kansas City, why would you not stay there?
I know.
he had to have,
I
like
don't-
what Jimmy said, he had
Yeah.
to have believed that the writing was on the wall. He was next to
Yeah,
get
probably.
the head coaching
But
job.
why
in Washington.
didn't
I believe
why
that's
he
true.
didn't need to go somewhere where he was going to be next, right? Like
I
somebody was
agree.
supposed to have hired him to be
Yes.
their head coach. Somebody,
And-
a team out
and
there.
and I'm actually kind of shocked that he didn't get a head coaching gig. I mean, like I felt that
Oh, I am too.
he out of all the coordinators that get hired every year for a head coaching job, like who didn't think he was at the top of that list?
I'm just
Well,
so
that's-
curious to know,
yeah.
like, dude, is he like a really bad interviewer? Like maybe he's
I
not
mean,
as good
but-
as what
But
he
how
was hyped
bad?
up to be.
But how bad
Don't know.
bad of an interview? I mean, you got to be an atrocious interviewer.
Why
where-
else
where-
would Eric Bieniemy be 2 years removed from being the OC in Kansas City to now being the assistant head coach at a now Big Ten bottom fucking of the barrel scraping team?
Yeah,
Like
I
UCLA
think
is going to
that
have
this-
a rough fucking year next year in the Big Ten.
Yes, they are.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
like
they are.
it seems to me to be like so like what the fuck happened in a 2-year span that led from where he was to where he is now?
Well, think
I
about
feel like-
think about it though. He's in Kansas City. He's got Patrick Mahomes. He's got that
Yeah,
offense.
yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
Andy Reid. Maybe he's just not as good without having that, without being with that team as we
Sure.
think he is.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or
look
is-
at McDaniels.
possible.
NFL teams went like maybe you're not that good. Like
Look at
he was
McDaniels, man.
he was in the process, like he's in his interview, right? And they're like, okay, well, how are you gonna run this? And he's like,
Yeah,
Here,
or
give
just
it to-
I'll figure
I
it
don't
out.
fucking know.
I'll figure it
Yeah,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I mean, look at McDaniels same way, man. I mean, when he had Brady, he was an offensive coordinator. He was a god running that offense, and he has struggled ever since he's left New England. So, maybe
That's
maybe
fact.
maybe it's a product of just having the fortune to be in that situation. But then once you leave, you get exposed that you're really not as good as what everybody thought you were.
that's super rare though. Like I think that's super, super rare.
Yeah, well,
To
I
be
can
at
only
the
think of two
pinnacle,
cases.
dude. Like that would have the time that he was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs. I don't even need to look up the numbers. Like
Right. I mean,
I bet they were
historical.
incredible what their offense did.
Historical.
Yeah,
historical.
so
And
it's just- it's
everybody
crazy.
thought out of that, Bieniemy would be a head coach
Yes,
in a big
I
team
did.
somewhere.
it was
I
shocking.
absolutely
It
did.
was shocking that he went to the Commanders. Period.
God,
And
Right.
now to go from that to where he's just signed is
Yeah.
even more like, what in the fuck is this guy doing?
Well, and
you
to
should
me,
call him up and hit him on the DM and ask him. Be like,
And-
listen,
Dude, I
and
don't
to
think he
me-
gives a. I just don't know that he even gives a fuck. He's like,
listen, he's
You know-
making some mad money even at
Yeah.
UCLA. Come on.
Fuck
Well,
yeah,
he
I mean,
is, but you're talking now. You're messing with his. Now he's messing with his legacy because I feel like Bieniemy is still kind of a big name, kind of a household name in the NFL. But now that he's made that move, is he? I don't think he
Obviously
is
not.
He's
anymore. I
gonna
mean,
be
yeah.
buried, dude. Nobody's gonna see what
Right.
he's doing down
That's
there.
what I'm saying.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying.
No,
If he were the
obviously-
head coach and he could make challenge and get into the playoffs and actually win some games, then he might get talked about again. But being
Yeah.
the assistant head
That's
coach,
what I mean. Like he didn't even take
It's
the
a
fucking
no.
head coach job.
no,
Hey,
it's
He's
a
not
no.
even the head coach.
Something I wanted to bring up. I wanted to ask you guys if anybody else seen it. I was blown away. Me and my girlfriend were talking about it. Did anybody else see the line to watch Iowa play Indiana girls basketball? That's never happened before, man. They showed the
Oh,
line
good.
on social media. The line, dude,
Yep.
the line had to be a mile long. And that's not exaggeration. Like there's people commenting about how they has any other
Are you
Okay, let's
saying
just
like the
start with
line to
females
get in the
bas-
game?
Yes,
Yeah,
to watch
to get in
the
the
I
game.
thought you were. I thought you were talking about like
gambling. That's what I
the
thought,
game
too.
line, like for
No,
betting.
no.
Oh.
Like there was people standing in line. Like I mean, I'm just like I don't think that we've ever seen. And we talk about Caitlin Clark a lot on here. She's amazing. Probably going to go down as the best, women's, college women's basketball player, and maybe when she gets a WNBA. But I mean, I just was blown away seeing how many people were in line waiting to get in. I mean, she's setting attendance records. I don't know if we've ever seen anything like this, men or women's, man.
Also, was it
It's-
at Iowa?
Was it? I
I
can't
don't-
remember.
That I don't remember. I remember seeing
And-
same as you on social media the line, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
In the Midwest
It's
right now,
insane.
though, if you're in Iowa, fuck else you gonna do?
Nothing.
Nothing.
That's not a
Boy.
shot. That's not a shot at
Whoa.
Caitlin Clark.
Hey.
But also a women's basketball game. Like, let's not fucking beat around the bush. I think I'm pro them doing whatever the fuck they want to do. That's not usually numbers. Like the just
I mean,
historically,
sort of
like just
volleyball in Nebraska.
facts are facts. Call me whatever you want to fucking call me about that, but like the facts are the facts. And for Caitlin, it's Caitlin Clark. People are like,
Yep. They want to be a
fuck it,
part
I'll
of it. and
drive
see it.
from Des Moines. It might be in Des Moines. I don't even know if is Des Moines in Iowa.
Did you?
It
Yes,
is.
it is. Did you
It
just
is.
throw that
I
out
feel
there?
All right,
we're
yeah.
we're really smart. We're wicked smart when it comes to geography. So
Des Moines.
I will say, shout out to the lady that was the first umpire in a major league spring training game in like almost 20
since
years.
07.
Yeah.
So
Yep,
I
since
don't
07.
know. I don't know. Take whatever fuck that I say about things and shout out to her.
Here at
But the
Cocktails and
thing, you
Curveballs,
know-
we are praising the women.
The
Yeah.
thing about the thing about that game is Indiana actually upset.
yeah, they did.
They
They did.
Oh, did they not?
Caitlin Clark, I think, had 3 or 4 points in the second half total. She
Yeah.
had
Is
24 in the
UConn
first.
still good at women's
Is
basketball?
UConn,
UConn's
UConn's
still
is
good.
like. Oh wait, no, it's you. I'm thinking UConn men's is number 1 in the country, aren't they?
Yeah, UConn's like 11 or something.
But
But
UConn girls,
yeah, but they've got that Paige Beckers.
yeah,
she's
she
really
got hurt,
good.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, if not for Caitlin Clark, that's who we'd be talking about a lot.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
Fair.
hell yeah, we
Fair.
know about women's college basketball on Cocktails and Curveballs. Fucking listen
Hell
up.
yes, we do.
That's right.
Fuck yeah, we
roll
talk
that shit
about
all
it.
day long. We text back
We-
and forth during every game.
Well,
We know that the
don't
ladies
wanna lie
in
to
the
people.
WNBA. We know that the ladies in the WNBA make more than $11 an hour. We just want to.
we do know that.
Well, we had
We
to
do know
fact
that,
check you
yeah.
on that one, Pat. We had
Yeah.
to fact check
Yeah,
you
I was-
on that one.
That was a tongue-in-cheek comment. I was being probably unnecessarily sarcastic, and I do apologize for that. So
Not you. That doesn't happen.
No.
I mean, once in a
Yeah,
while.
it's-
I mean, actually, every time sounds more realistic.
yeah,
No, it's
sell more
true, but-
tickets, you'll make more money. Trust me.
Now, see, what we need to do is we need to figure out a way to do a live Cocktails and Curveballs event where we have that kind of line waiting to get in just to watch us do what we do.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'd
that
be
needs to
cool.
be a goal. That needs to be a goal, right?
To
be
to watch me dump a shot of Hornitos in my beer.
Yeah, damn right.
I couldn't
And to
imagine
whatever-
what that arena or whatever the fucking group of
Oh.
people that would have to line up to watch that.
Oh my god.
They'd be top notch.
I would say that there's probably a lot of police activity around that building that night.
very possible, but that's
Hey,
okay.
there's-
That's okay.
That's a lofty goalie, and I appreciate that. But how about let's work on 100 subscribers or something.
Yeah, let's do
Oh
that.
yeah.
How
Yeah,
about-
that's-
All
that's-
right.
that's-
Start
about
start
that?
realistic.
Let's even set it a little. Let's not go crazy. 20. Maybe this will
Yeah.
get 40 views. Who
Hey,
fucking
this
knows?
hey, fingers crossed. We'll
I'm gonna
find out.
over under 50.
Oh, you know what I just heard is that the Pac-12 wrestling championship is that tournament or whatever. I don't know, however you say it, is here in Corvallis this year.
Oh, no
shit.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be cool. Sal, you're going, right?
Fuck yeah, I'm going.
Oh man, that'd be sweet.
I
Watch it
just
down,
my
it'd be
real
sweet.
my
Badass.
realtor, her son wrestles for Oregon State. He was a 4-time state champion in 5A here in Oregon.
Holy
Holy
shit.
And
crap.
she was like, oh, we get extra tickets all the time. It's like,
Hit a
Wow.
brother up. Sell my house for me.
You
and
have my
give me the
number.
tickets.
you have my
Yes,
number.
exactly.
Yeah, next weekend I got to middle school state wrestling championship is in Lewistown, Montana. So I got to take the boys. They're going to be wrestling in that.
Is that on Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. Yeah, I always feel like I'm more nervous than they are, man. Like even
guaranteed,
just
as
this
a
past week,
parent.
I'm just like, I'm going over stuff with them, doing having them do their sit out, turn in, working on the crossface, doubles, just
You know
all the
You know what's crazy is that the shit that we learned when, way back in the day,
yeah.
wrestling, they don't teach anymore. So you teach these kids some of our
Right.
old school shit, and they go out there, they use it, and that other kid doesn't have any idea what the fuck's going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, like the crossface. I mean, I don't know. They're even teaching the crossface, and I've told my boys several times. I'm like, when you throw a crossface, man, don't be nice. Like throw that crossface from back here, man. I mean,
A wrestling purist just calls that just hard wrestling.
That's right, man. Be physical. I mean,
Make
I've
their
given
nosebleed, dude.
kids that
Make
exactly.
their
I've given
nosebleed when
kids
you hit a
nosebleeds.
crossface.
Swing from here, man, and you're hitting them with your bicep. But man, when you swing from Argentina and come across their nose, man, I tell you what, that kid's he's gonna be on his back before he gets his senses, man. I tell my kids all the time, there's nothing in the rule book that says you got to be nice, man.
And I'll tell you, wrestling for the Zaddicks and the Campbells.
Oh, Jesus. So Colton went to the Zadok Brothers Wrestling Camp this summer. He was, I would bring him home and he'd fall asleep. The fucking kid was
done.
worn the fuck out, man.
Zaddicks don't fuck around. That's some hardcore shit right there.
No, they expect
they-
you hit a crossface, they expect you to make the guy's nose bleed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
They
the only
sound
way
like
to throw
nice
a crossface.
Grabbing
Yeah.
fingers, grabbing
They sound
fingers.
nice.
Got
Oh, they
knocked
sound
out.
pleasant.
Yeah.
They sound like great
I'd like
people.
to have a fucking family dinner with them.
I think
I
the
tell-
rules going back to the 80s versus the rules nowadays are probably taught a little bit differently. Like what you can get away with.
I tell my boys, this is how I tell them to run an armbar. You throw that armbar in, you run your hips toward their head. One of two things is absolutely going to happen. He's going to go on his back. You're going to break his fucking arm. One of two things are going to happen. Run your legs are stronger than his torso. So you know what? You flip your legs out, run your hips toward his head. You're going to break his arm or he's going to his back.
And if he Ricky Bobbies you and says, break it, Pepe Le Pew.
You know what?
Break it.
Your legs ain't going to know any different. He's going to go to his back. 99.9% of the time, he's going to be on his back, and it's going to be a quick pin, man. Yeah.
Fair enough.
And I remember wrestling guys that were wrestling in the 148 class, and they were 6'3" and shit, and he bent every way that it was like you couldn't get them to their back. Their arms would touch the other side of their body, and they're still not. Oh, I hated it. Like wrestling a goddamn mattress. Hated it.
So okay. The other perspective of that, Jim, is the guys I hated wrestling were the guy I was taller than them. They were like I called them like farm kids. They grew up throwing hay bales, and they were so strong. I'd get them on their back, and I couldn't keep them down because they were so strong. Third period, man, comes along. I'm ahead of them 12-2, and they're not even breathing hard. And I'm just like, I'm just worn out from. This guy just is so strong, and I can't keep him on his back. And I hated wrestling.
But luckily
guys like
you
that
were
'cause
still up 10. For
Well-
they couldn't wrestle. They were just super strong. I couldn't pin them. Man.
Full
It just- it
disclosure,
was-
though, Pat, you were talking about when you were wrestling, which we're going back to high school, yeah, is what you were
Yeah.
talking about. Dude, you didn't hit your like get tall growth spurt until
I know.
out of high school. So when
Yeah.
you're talking about these kids a lot smaller than you, I'm picturing Munchkins from the Wizard of Oz. Like, who are you wrestling?
No. I was
still
tiny
waiting on
in
my
high
growth
school.
spurt. I'm still hoping I hit mine.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. You Porters, it all happens late, but it's gonna hit.
Yeah. So I graduated
God.
probably 5'6", 140, 135 pounds, and inside of a year I was 6 foot and probably 185. Probably less
Yep.
than a year.
Navy
Yeah, right now
served you
I'm-
well.
Right now I'm 6'2",
Stretched out.
probably 2 1/4. So
You're a late bloomer.
You're
That's okay.
maybe a little heavier than that, but that doesn't matter.
We're not
Hey,
discussing that.
I mean,
hey,
like, come on.
Good Lord, let's keep the
Come on,
gloves
dude, you're
up.
a pretty big
Jesus,
dude.
what the hell?
I
Ref's
mean,
gonna take away a point next time. What the?
Notice how quiet I got when we started talking about height and weight.
yeah. Oh, yeah. My
It's time to shut
BMI,
up.
my BMI, not good.
Let me tell you something about this bastard, though. Let me tell you something about this guy, my brother. This guy would walk into a gym, sniff a weight, and come out shredded. Like it just
What
fucking
happened?
stupid, man. I'm like, he'd
Oh,
go
yeah,
out for
what-
basketball.
So
Go out for basketball and lead the team in scoring, and then he'd quit. Go out for, anything he did, baseball.
You mean
he'd go
get
out and-
kicked off
Listen.
the team?
Like, Jesus
Jim
Christ.
appreciated his alcoholic beverages more than the sports at times.
Well, at times.
Yeah.
At times. I did the same thing.
Yeah.
But hey guys, I gotta actually
No,
get running.
I mean-
While you guys want to get on some curtain calls?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you guys.
I got
Yeah,
one
let's
really
do it.
quick. I got one really quick because and we've talked about him before, Victor Wembanyama. This
Oh, yeah.
kid just hit the 5x5, over 5 in assist points, rebounds, assists, steals, blocks. It's like 15th player to do it. I'm actually getting more into the NBA now. I'm kind of excited to see what the hell this kid looks like down the road. And with the Spurs, it takes me back to the Admiral. It takes me back to Tim Duncan. Like they get that big guy that just completely transforms the team. This guy could be it, man. And I think I'm excited
He's
to watch
really
him
good.
play. But
Yeah,
being
he's
the
really
15th
good.
player to do the 5x5, I mean, I was impressed as hell with that. So my curtain call goes to Victor Wembanyama with the San Antonio Spurs. Cheers, buddy. That was impressive.
Cheers.
Look forward to seeing what he does going forward.
I don't have a curtain call. It's just kind of lame this time of year, It's just watching hockey and stuff. And yeah, I could go with Nate McKinnon. He's on fire, and which, by the way, I get to go see him play Tuesday. But
Nice.
Humble brag. Okay, humble brag. Oh, by the way,
so my curtain call goes to you three. In a time where you listen to any of our episodes, and we're big football, baseball heavy. Yeah, we talk about hockey and the NBA, WNBA. We talk about certain people, but this time of year when it's just not, God, there's just not.
Yeah, kind of stale.
But we're still making it happen. So
Yeah.
my curtain call goes out to the boys at Cocktails and Curveballs for making it happen week after week, no matter what.
I'll cheers that.
I'll cheers that all day long.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna, since Lee broke into the NBA with his curtain call, I'm going to give a curtain call to my Oklahoma City Thunder, man. Clippers came in the other night.
No.
Clippers came in the other night. Clippers and Thunder were right there, two of the top records in the West, and Thunder took them out behind the woodshed, man. Beat them by 26. So.
Wow.
Get your
Nice.
ass back to LA, man. And Clippers are a great team, but I tell you what, man, Thunder, you guys better get your Thunder jerseys. They're coming. So cheers
my
to my
LeBron
Thunder.
James Thunder jersey. Mine goes
If
out
that
to
happens,
Pete
oof.
Mine goes to Pete Weber. He just retired.
Bowler,
Uh,
yes, sir.
41 years on the PBA
Wow.
tour.
God, what was he,
and,
70?
I
Had to be
mean,
70.
And if you're not saying to somebody like a few times a year, about like what did he say? You think you are, I am. Whatever you think you are, I am.
Yeah.
That's so fucking iconic.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's a
Maybe it's
stud.
not. I like watching the PBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, those
I
guys.
like bowling. And so he said, hate me or love me, you watched. That's all you could do. That's what he
Yeah,
said when he retired.
He's a stud.
Like, that's
Pete
That's
so
a
Weber-
cool.
baller statement.
It's so
That's a
fucking
baller
cool.
statement.
So fucking
Pete Weber
cool.
Pete Weber is the baller, dude. He is.
Yeah,
he is
he's-
so fun to watch.
Yeah, yeah, and he even so he might have been one of the first ones, him and Mark Roth, to kind of start talking shit on bowling by nature is kind of like a respectful sport, not for Pete Weber, man.
No.
And Pete Weber was all about the stare down, all about the pointing. I mean,
Yeah.
it is nobody liked
And
bowling
backed
against
it
Pete
up.
Weber because if you lose, he's gonna fucking let you know next.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
shit talker, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Still
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it still is. That's a pretty wild
Yeah.
quote to say at your retirement press conference.
Yes, sir.
All
I
right,
think
guys.
that's how we would all go out.
Just like
I
Pete
think
Weber,
so.
I hope I go out with my
Hey,
bowling
and
shoes
it,
on.
just I wanted to let you guys know I'm wearing my fuck around and find out shirt in honor of you three today. So fuck around and
All
find
right.
out. Yeah.
Nice. Don't hate it. Madless plug
All
there.
right, guys. Cheers.
Yes, sir.
Cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.